Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Nadia Mahmudah with student number 226121242. Here, I will explain some topics of language learning assessment. Okay, for the first chapter we discuss in LLA is about concept, function, objective, and procedure of evaluation. But here, I'm gonna explain about the function of learning evaluation. In the realm of education and teaching, data plays a pivotal role or important role in shaping policies and decisions. It serves as a foundation upon effectiveness strategies are built. And through assessment tools and evaluation, educators can dig or can get students' mastery level of the material provided, gaining valuable insight to their strengths and areas needing improvement. Furthermore, by delving into students' skills, motivation, talents, interests, and attitudes toward the learning program, teachers can tailor their approaches to better cater to individual needs. For the second chapter we discuss in LLA is about Bloom's taxonomy, rules, and procedure in constructing a test. Here, I'm gonna explain about psychomotor domain. Psychomotor domain refers to the domain of learning that involves physical, movement, coordination, and skill improvement. It focuses on the development of motor skills or physical abilities. In this domain, students learn how to perform specific actions, manipulate objects, and demonstrate physical abilities. Psychomotor domain are divided to the 5 levels. For the first level is about imitation, or we can call it as P1. It refers to the act of imitation based on written guidelines and visual examples. Like we ask to the students to turn on the computer. The first time, the teacher's gonna demonstrate how to turn on the computer. And the second level is manipulation, or we can call it as P2. It refers to the mastery of movement without the aid of visual examples, where students are only given written or verbal instruction, and they are expected to perform the requested action. The difference with the first level, and the difference is students don't need to see guidelines or visual example. Like when we ask students to turn on the computer, we only ask them with verbal commandment without demonstrate to them. For the next level is precision, or we can call it as P3. It's referred to the ability to perform movement without the aid of visual examples or written instruction. And here, students are being to execute the movements accurately even after a long period of time. Like when we ask them to turn on the computer, it's like they used to turn on the computer like for a long time, like that. They don't need written instruction. They don't need what visual example, or they don't need anything to turn on the computer. The next level is about articulation. It's referred to the ability of students to demonstrate a series of accurate movement in the correct sequence with gradually increasing speed and being able to respond to specific challenges. And the last level is naturalization, or we can call it as P5. It's referred to the ability of students to perform dynamic movements spontaneously. So when they want to turn on the computer, they don't need anything to see before they turn on the computer. They don't need a visual examples or etc. It's like they used to turn on the computer like spontaneously. They know how to turn on, like they should press the button in the CPU to turn on the computer. The submaterial we discussed in the LLA is about type of test, strength and weakness of each type. And here I'm gonna explain about subjective written test and the weakness and the strength of it. Written test is where the teacher provides some question to the students, and students also provide a correct answer by writing. For subjective written test aims to assess students' performance that complex and qualitative, using questions that may have more than one correct answer or more ways to express it. And for subjective written tests, it divided to the two kinds. They are limited description and unlimited description. For the limited description, the question is more focused and limits, so that there are limits for the answer too for the student. For example, the question is, please mention 5 components of computer systems. Here, students will be able to answer only 5 components of computer system, no more than that or no less than that. For the next kind is unlimited description. This test is free to argue with question and answer according to the student's view. Like for the example, please explain the differences between monocode and decode plan. Here, student will be able to answer maybe for 3 kinds of differences or maybe 5, and it's unlimited based on their knowledge and based on their view. Yeah, they don't have to answer maybe 3 or 5, but free because it's unlimited. For the strength is it's easy to prepare and organize and doesn't give much opportunity for speculation or change. And also it gives students opportunity to express their answer by their own language style. For the weakness of this type is its low levels of validity and reliability, also less representative in terms of representing the entire scope of the subject matter. For teacher, the time for correction is long and inefficient because the students have different answer from one to another student. The fourth material we discussed in LLA is about rules in constructing test items and test scoring. And here I'm gonna explain about rules of scoring a learning evaluation test. Okay, assessment is a process for making decisions using information obtained through measurement of learning outcomes, either using test or non-test instrument. Some rules that need to be considered in giving assessment, there are first is consistency. Grades should be awarded consistently according to the predefined assessment criteria. And the second is fairness. Grades should be given fairly and objectively to all students without discrimination. And then is transparency. Grading criteria and how grades are calculated should be clear and understandable to all the students. So it's not only understand or clear by the teacher, but for the students it should to be clear for them. And then is relevance to learning objective. Grades should reflect the extent to which students have achieved the learning objective that have been set. And then it's about feedback. After grading, it's important to provide a feedback to students based on their performance to help them understand their strength and weakness and ways to improve their understanding, because maybe there are some students that have weakness, so we're gonna give them a feedback to how to improve or how to fix their weakness. And the next is objectivity. Grading should be based on concrete evidence and not influenced by subjective or emotional factors. And the last is use of appropriate assessment skills. Select an appropriate rating scale that is relevant to the type of the test and purpose of the evaluation. And the fifth material we discussed in LLA is about test and item validity and reliability. And here I'm gonna explain about definition of reliability and the kinds of it. Reliability is the extent to which the measurement of a test or measuring instrument remain consistent after being repeated on the subject. There are 3 types of reliability. There are test-retest reliability, and there are internal consistency reliability and parallel form reliability. For the first kind is test-retest reliability. It's a measure of reliability obtained by administering the same test twice over a specific period of time. Scores from time 1 and 2 can then be correlated to evaluate the stability of the test over time. The next kind is internal consistency reliability. Internal consistency reliability is measuring the correlation between multiple items in a test that are intended to measure the same construct. It used to assess the consistency of result within a single test. And the last kind is about parallel form reliability. It's a measure the consistency of result from different versions of a test that are designed to be equivalent. It's used to assess the consistency of result across different forms of a test. Okay, maybe enough here the explanation of LLA from me. I ask sorry if you found my name is text from me. And the last I say wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See ya.